Do you remember having days, hopefully not too long ago, where your energy just all came together in this wonderful explosion of activity? Oh, I'm Clarence, I'm the preacher, and I'm here to tell you that those days are not gone for good. Now, I understand age can make a little difference in the way we feel, but spiritually we can still have that power, that enthusiasm, that desire to get out there and fight the good fight. So we all love it when we're like burning on all four burners or hitting on all 8 cylinders. You know, we just have all of that convergence of energy that comes together in a wonderful way, and we'd like to line up a series of those days, day after day after day, month after month, because it gives you a power, an energy, a passion to really move some things forward in your life in a constructive way that makes us workers in the kingdom. We sing songs about being a worker in the kingdom and doing the Lord's work. And those kind of days make it seem so much simpler. And Paul, I think, gives us a great example of how we can continue to have that kind of forward momentum, that forward passion, even though life may have been hard and we may be getting up in years. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 12 through 14, that's where Paul talked about he pressed on. He didn't consider himself to have apprehended. He didn't sit down. His race wasn't over yet. He was still moving forward, going forward, and wouldn't stop until he got to the other side of the tombstone. He understood that the Christian's retirement is not on this side of the tombstone. In fact, Revelation 14:13 would say, "Blessed are those who die in the Lord, that they may rest from their labors." We don't stop fighting the good fight, doing the work of the kingdom, investing our energy and our passion into the spiritual journey until the journey is over. Now, it seems so simple to say it, but a lot of folks just don't quite get it. There are a lot of folks, they get a few years on them, they go, that's for young people. Look, I know it takes courage to keep going, but when you have a passion, you cannot be idle. There are people of age up in their senior years with a lot of passion and it's still a lot of activity. Why is that? Because they have passion. And I'm going to say something kind of harsh here. If you're content to sit idle and do nothing when you could get up and do something, you lost your passion. If you had your passion, you would not sit there and scroll through Facebook for endless dead hour on dead hour. You wouldn't waste your time watching TV hour after hour if you had passion. Now, if you're housebound or bedfast, I get it. That's a different story. But if you can still get up and get around and do what you want to do when you want to do it, then this is the kind of energy we're talking about. This is the passion that we can have in Christ, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And it is an emotional energy that just permeates our whole being and help carries us forward. And so Paul, he had the courage to keep fighting the good fight. Even when he was way up in the years, he kept pursuing the goals, the spirituality, the teaching, the preaching. He pressed on because he couldn't be still. He couldn't sit still. There was no way Paul was going to sit around and do nothing. Wonderful example. Now, let's be honest, there are a whole lot of folks in Christianity nowadays that sit around and do absolutely nothing. Oh, they talk a good game. They talk about what they could do or what they're going to do someday after they get all their agenda done. When they finish their agenda, then they'll pick up God's agenda, which kind of has things backwards, doesn't it? It's God's agenda first and then ours second, because after all, we're going to leave this all behind. This whole life's just a vapor. Now, if you don't get it right here, you're not going to get it right over there. So Paul would tell Timothy, you get out there and you fight the good fight. Now, don't be a spectator. Spectators sit in the bleacher and I get to have a good time. But the people that have the best time, the most satisfying time, they feel like they have the most significance, the people who really make a contribution to their family, their community, their local church, are the people who get out of the bleachers and they get out there and they fight the good fight. They engage folks. They are a great influence in their community and their social circle. These are the people who have that let me in coach attitude. They're not going to sit on the bleachers. They're not going to be content sitting over there twiddling their thumbs doing nothing. They got to do something. And I tell you what, There are a lot of good folks in our community. If you look around, you'll see them working. But if you're not one of them, it's time to reconsider. It's time to look for that energy, that enthusiasm, that zeal you once had that got you out of bed in the morning and said, all right, let's fight the good fight today. Let's see what difference we can make. Hey, share this video with somebody if you think it might encourage them a little bit. Give them a little bump along. Put your comments below. And as always, I hope you have a great day.